Good morning, my name is Juan Sebastián Castellanos, and this is my video presentation. The history of programming languages dates back to the early 19th century, when a mathematician called Ada Lovelace created an algorithm that today is considered the first computer in history. This machine could follow a series of simple instructions to perform a complex calculation. Later, in the 1950s, the first real programming language was developed. It was called Fortran and was used for scientific and engineering calculations. A decade later, more programming languages such as COBOL, ALGOL, and BASIC would come to light. These programming languages were used to write applications for business and research, and COBOL was intended to be used universally and to be able to run on any computer. In the 1970s, programming languages oriented to writing operating systems and applications were created. Languages such as C and Pascal were created. Then in the 1980s, the first object-oriented programming language was created. It was called Smalltalk, and as everyone knows, the creation of object-oriented programming languages represented a great advance in the field, because it allowed programmers to reuse code and was the basis for what would become the most popular approach in programming languages today. In the 90s, we saw the development of scripting languages, like Perl and Python, used primarily for web development. Then, in the early 2000s, languages like Ruby and PHP became popular for web development as well. All of these languages are still used today to program web pages. There are some important differences in the practice of this profession in different countries and how they influence the way software is developed. For example, there are countries like Canada and the US that prefer to use languages like Python and PHP for scripting, because it is easier to write and read. Other countries like Colombia and India prefer languages like JavaScript because of its cross-browser compatibility and for its versatility. There is also a difference in the way some cultures prefer to write and maintain the software they produce. Some countries have a strong emphasis on writing highly readable and well-documented code, while in others, speed and efficiency are paramount and take priority over readability. Team dynamics can also vary. There are countries that do not allow junior developers challenge decisions made by senior developers, while there are others that allow this type of participation. In summary, there are some common practices that vary depending on the country where the programmers work. But in my opinion, all programmers should learn a little from each common practice, since they have their advantages and will have an impact in the final outcome of the project. In the future, there is no doubt that new programming languages will emerge, and with the inclusion of artificial intelligence in different fields, a programming language could be created through artificial intelligence, a language designed to provide stability, greater versatility, that optimizes the execution of tasks and can replace some of the currently existing languages in order to promote communication between programmers from all over the world.